Welcome to another edition of One Take Only. I am George Phillips with OilPressure.com. This is my very good friend, John McClellan. And John, it's been a while. It's been since before the Indianapolis 500 that we got here. And since then, we've had what?
Six
races?
Two in Detroit. You had Texas and
Toronto and Indianapolis. So, how many is that? Five? More than we can count. I can't count past five.
Yeah.
So, first of all, we'll start with the most important race of those, Indianapolis 500. What'd you think?
I loved it. Tell you what, though, there was one thing I did not like, and I am not enjoying at all the Honda situation. And it was kind of funny going into the race that even Chevrolet, they had aero kit problems and all the different stuff that they went through. This aero kit, it's not as much fun as I think a lot of people.
Well, we could debate back and forth through the entire thing just about the aero kits, I think.
Right.
The situation in Indianapolis was very odd because that's what Honda was aiming for more than anything else, and they think they had a competitive package, but then all the issues with Chevrolet and qualifying, and all of a sudden, it's almost like Derek Walker and Mark Miles kind of kicked the legs out from underneath Honda. And that was probably their best shot for the year, and suddenly it was taken away from them. So it's unfortunate, and I'm telling you what, even this last race at Toronto, Honda was, I think in the lap times and whatnot, they were semi-competitive, but the final results, they only had 2 in the top 10, and that was in places 9th and 10th. And it's a bad situation.
The engine's great, and we know that from years past.
I don't know that we know that.
Well, they did real well last year. They didn't win the championship, but they
won the Indianapolis 500. And Honda did win the championship in 13.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
believe,
13.
with Ganassi, and then of course that's when Ganassi announced they were going with Chevy.
Also, they won it with Ryan Hunter-Reay.
So, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. They did. So, the engine is better than the aero package. I'll grant you that.
Easy.
So it's a real sticky situation. Personally, I was gung ho all in favor of the aero kits, and I am not a proponent right now of scrapping them and going back to the DW12 package. First of all, I don't even know if it can because they changed the floor, and that eliminated some downforce. I'm not an engineer. I'm not even going to get into that area. But it's, I think a lot of money has been spent, and I just think that, and Honda's not going to come up with any cures for this year. They're just going to have to bite the bullet, and their teams are going to suffer. Bad thing is their teams may suffer in the sponsorship arena next season because their sponsors don't know about aero kits. All their sponsors know is we're not winning.
Well, I think though that Rahal's not going to have that problem. As a matter of fact, I understand that Steak and Shake's coming up with the 10 million, and they're going to sponsor all year long.
I have not heard that. So.
I got that word. Of course, it's just a rumor, but it's a well-sourced one. Now, with that being said, I think a guy like Andretti can weather the storm of this off season. He can put.
Michael's a good businessman,
right? And they've got some legitimate reasons, and they've got a track record of winning.
But you know what? What's odd, and I didn't mean to get on this whole aero kit thing, but among the Honda teams, you would have thought with their resources and they're kind of considered Honda. They did all the testing in the off season. You would think that they would be at least performing on the level of the other Honda teams, but Rahal's beating them. Your shirts, Schmidt Peterson is beating them, and
Foyt when they're about
No, Foyt's having a horrible year.
Yeah, 2 minutes out of it.
And Hawksworth, shows a few flashes. I don't know if he's been unlucky,
Yeah.
but it just seems like he's caught up in everything.
Every week,
So,
every race.
Dale Coyne, they've kind of just been out to lunch. Can't find different drivers every week.
But you think ABC's going to be upset?
They like AJ Foyt.
They like
they're
AJ
going to
Foyt.
stick with
AJ
Foyt.
Foyt's AJ Foyt.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I would think that's one of the safer sponsorship packages out there. But,
and it's a great combo. You got AJ Foyt.
but anyway, back to the Indianapolis
Let's go.
500.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. Montoya, he's simply one of the best race car drivers.
I tell you what, he drove one
walking the
heck of a
land.
race.
Yeah.
I'm not really a Montoya fan. Everybody knows I'm a big Penske fan. That's why I'm wearing the shirt.
You're happy about
they,
that,
They,
though?
they won the 500.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Montoya fan. I'm not a huge Pagenaud fan. I know a lot of people out there are. I'm not really. I don't have anything against him, but I want him to show me something other than a couple of races at Schmidt.
Right.
So,
Fix that. That'll fix that.
but it was not the best 500. I thought last year's 500 was
I
better than this one.
loved last year's 500.
But this was a good race. I mean, those last 15 laps between those top four cars, who was it? Kimball, Dixon, Power, and Montoya. That's about those 15 laps. That's about as good as it gets anywhere.
Hey, I was sad about. It's too bad that Ed messed up. And the thing about it was, I saw that this year the shoe was on his foot this time.
Yeah, Ed messed that up.
Yeah.
I know. Who was it that got caught up with him? I forget who it was now, but
I can't remember either, but I know that Ed was doing what he was complaining last year. That Hinch did.
yeah,
He did the exact same thing.
Yeah, he this one was pretty much on him.
Yeah.
So, but Ed's not having a good year.
No, he's not. But I tell you what, though, they had a pretty nice week on the last race.
At Toronto.
Yeah, I think Ed's not doing so bad.
Well, it's Newgarden and
Newgarden
Philippi.
and Philippi.
I didn't say the team was having a bad year. I said Ed's having a bad year.
Okay,
Because his two races so far, he's been pretty well out to lunch, and he admits it himself. I mean, at Texas, they were clueless, and both cars were parked.
Let's see what he does this weekend. He's smart.
At Fontana,
Yeah.
well, he's won there.
Yeah. Well, one thing too about Ed, I think Ed Carpenter is a terrific owner, and he and Sarah Fisher, they prove themselves each year that they're even better than they get better as time goes by.
And
what a wonderful future we've got with them. In this
and
series.
at some point when they win, we're going to start calling it an upset.
I don't think last week was an upset.
No, I mean,
Newgarden's got it.
I don't think many people were picking. I didn't pick him to win. I don't think many people were. Nobody was picking them to win at Barber, but he's coming of age. I'm glad to see it. Now it's a good thing he did win, because since Barber, he's kind of been out to lunch himself. Not necessarily him, but the car. Indianapolis was the month of May was one to forget with what are they, CFH Racing. So
Well, they could bounce back next year, and be real strong. May has been good to Carpenter before, and hadn't been so bad to Sarah Fisher either.
yeah,
They've had some nice Mays.
Newgarden has not had a very good May ever, really. I don't think
Well, he was in the top 10.
this year, but
And also, what
yeah,
about
but
that year? He was in the top 10. Only Honda in the top 10 at one point. He was running a Honda back in the year you got married.
2012.
Yeah,
Nice if you remember it that
Yeah.
way. So.
He's okay. He was a rookie that year.
But so far as Indianapolis goes, congratulations
Yeah.
to Roger Penske on number 16. Took him a while to get this one. I'm not sure, but I think he ended either not his longest, if it's not as long as one of his longest dry spells at Indianapolis, because he had not won since 2009 when Elio won. So good for him. He did get number 16, and they're on a roll right now. So, but I guess we'll lump all the other races kind of together with Texas. Then you got the Twins at Detroit. I've made my feelings clear on Belle Isle and Detroit.
Right.
Don't care for the location. don't care for the double headers. Most people seem to disagree with me on that, so I'm not going to get on that soapbox again. Toronto was a good race.
Yeah,
it was an
enjoyed
excellent
that,
race.
yeah.
Plus, it was not a double header.
Right.
So get in that jam.
But it was also, let's go, let's do some racing. I thought as far as street courses go, it was as pretty as you want. You know,
Yeah.
It's a nice, pretty track.
Yeah, I like that track. I think next year they are going back to their traditional date in July, which, if you recall, that used to be the national day.
Yeah, National
Memphis.
Day. No, not Memphis, Nashville.
And
I guess that's still going to be open for Toronto.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like
Nashville Super Speedway is not going to resurface anytime soon.
Yeah.
That ownership, or excuse me, the group that's trying to buy the track, they are not an ownership group.
Yeah,
They're here in Nashville. They're a joke. So enough on that. If anything changes, we'll be sure to report on that. But I don't see that changing.
And then we'll eat
soon.
crow.
Oh, I'll gladly eat crow.
Love
I'd
it.
love to see that track up and running again. It's not a great track. Needs a little work,
Right.
but Nashville supported it. Good IndyCar community here for the South.
Right.
So
With very little promotion.
yeah, got Fontana coming up this weekend.
I'm looking forward to it. What do you think is going to happen?
I think they're going to run it. I have no idea. I mean, obviously, the way things have gone this year, got to think Penske's got a leg up on people. I mean, they've.
Ganassi's
Although
not so bad.
Ganassi came close to winning Indianapolis, they did win Texas
That's
with
right.
Dixon.
And then Kanan's running pretty damn good.
Don't count Kanan out.
Right.
You know, Charlie Kimball's he's being consistent at least. I don't know if we're going to call him a front runner yet, but you know what one thing I don't get. You know, I've kind of looked into it some. I don't understand why they're running that race on Saturday afternoon. Used to be a Saturday night race. I know they had the issues with the sunset. You know, by the time if they do start late, then it's midnight on the East Coast.
I don't get it.
By the time it's over with, but I know they're trying to avoid going up against Sonoma, which is also in California on the West Coast at 4 o'clock Eastern time on Sunday. So that would probably be that would have been when Fontana would run. So I don't know, but it just seems odd. And I've heard a couple of people think that the race is Sunday. No, it's Saturday.
Saturday.
So, but you know, it frees up a Sunday.
Yeah.
So now from here on out, it seems like it's kind of a every other week type thing. I don't mind that. The 10-week spell we just got through, that was a little intense.
Yeah.
And I think it really wore the teams and the drivers out.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people say, I don't care about the teams. Well, you should.
Yeah.
And that, you know, they're the backbone of this series, and they kind of need to be taken care of.
That's right. Even the baseball players.
Because unlike NASCAR, for those that don't know, the NASCAR teams that are in the shop, they don't go to the races. The people that go to the races, you have a bug on your hat. The people that go to the races aren't there in the shop during the week. IndyCar teams, they build the cars, they prepare the cars in the shop during the week, then they travel with the team, so it wears them out.
Yeah, and something like that dual race would just really put the fix.
Oh yeah,
on them.
it really did, especially with it being a rain race.
Right.
So.
Oh man.
But anyway,
Anytime a car gets fouled up, you know, that's a lot of work, whether it's 2 races one weekend or not.
yeah. So anything, we're need to be wrapping up here
Okay.
soon. What you got? Anything?
Yeah, I do.
Quickly?
Here's what I got. I got this.
Quickly?
Quickly, okay. Newgarden, he's going to finish better than Kimball.
You mean this week?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I predict
Good.
top 5.
Okay. I have no predictions yet. I haven't thought that far in advance. I'll have a prediction on Friday. But anyway, anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. Well, but wanted to get this in before too many races took place, and thought this would be a good time to do it with finally coming off an off weekend. Hope you had a happy Father's Day.
I had a great
did.
Father's Day. Wonderful.
But anyway, for John McClellan, I'm George Phillips with OilPressure.com. Thank you for watching.